We talk about it as in, like, the boxers that do it for a living, this is their livelihood. Sometimes it's like the YouTubers don't really take this seriously. How would you counteract that?
Do what you do. They're also not world champion boxers fighting for a world title. So if you have to do everything that you do to become a world champion, then that's what you have to do. They're here to just enjoy the sport. They want to fight, and I think anyone wants to fight, let them fight. Don't count other people's pockets. I moved up from a few weights. I went from light heavy to cruiser to now heavyweight. Yeah, I like a challenge. I like to fight the big boys, a challenge, I didn't take any time off. I did it all. I fought last Saturday. I got a second round knockout in the 30 seconds of the second round. I sparred with my sparring partners. I sparred with Sam. I stayed in the gym. It is what it is. And I think a lot more. We're going to see a lot more explosive fighters, a lot more agile heavyweights. I think the times are changing.
Is that light all right, or is it blinding?
A little blinding, but all right.
Let me turn it down. Is that a bit better? It's going down a bit. Right. I'm a rookie to this YouTube stuff.
Yeah, me too.
So I follow the usual boxing. So I'm going to need you to educate me. So this is a bit of education for me and for the real boxing fans that really need to understand that some of these YouTubers are taking this seriously. So I'm October Red Boxing, and it's nice to meet you, and you are?
I'm Sean Bey. I'm fighting out of Big Six Boxing in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm here to represent and coach the Candyman, Sam Hyde. And as far as I feel about this YouTube boxing and boxing in general, I think it's great. I think it brings attention to boxing. I think it gets the fans that would never even look this way to look this way. And these YouTubers, they're not doing anything that no starting up boxer would do. They did the amateur scene with a little bit of headgear, and now they're doing it with no headgear. It's like they're doing anything that a normal boxer would do, an up-and-coming boxer. People, I think, are just really mad because they have the following already that they got from somewhere else, so the paydays are there. But where I'm from, we don't count another man's pockets. You just do what you have to do. And I think it's good for the sport.
When we say, like, some of, obviously, the real fans, and you say maybe there's a bit of envy there, we talk about it as in, like, the boxers that do it for a living, this is their livelihood. Sometimes it's like the YouTubers don't really take this seriously. How would you counteract that?
Do what you do. They're also not world champion boxers fighting for a world title. So if you have to do everything that you do to become a world champion, then that's what you have to do. They're here to just enjoy the sport. They want to fight, and I think anyone wants to fight, let them fight. Don't count other people's pockets.
I like that attitude. How long have you been in boxing yourself?
I've been fighting since I was a kid, but actually competing, I've been fighting since about 19. Yeah.
What weight were you at?
I moved up from a few weights. I went from light heavy to cruiser to now heavyweight. Yeah, I like a challenge. I like to fight the big boys, a challenge,
So you're not a YouTuber then, you're actually a boxer?
Oh yeah, I'm a pro fighter, yeah. Real serious, head buster, iron worker, go in, put in work every day, hard.
That is interesting. Forgive my ignorance because I didn't know. So how's it been for you taking time out from what you do professionally to help out, say, for example, Sam Hyde?
I didn't take any time off. I did it all. I fought last Saturday. I got a second round knockout in the 30 seconds of the second round. I sparred with my sparring partners. I sparred with Sam. I stayed in the gym. It's he's getting ready for a boxing match, and I'm a boxer, so we're in the same place. It's not like he's asking me to come on and do a commercial, and I gotta step away and read lines. Like he's like, hey, I want to learn how to box. Come learn how to box. We'll box. So it kind of was easy.
And what is Sam Hyde like to train?
He's
full of energy.
Yeah, but honestly, he's very intelligent. He takes everything in. He learns. He's humble and he's focused. He's hungry. He doesn't want to just go out here and look bad. He wants to look good. So I got a lot of respect for him, and I'm really looking forward to showing what he can do. He's also training at my gym, Big Six, the land of the Giants, and it's a very serious gym with Jason and Roland Estrada. They wouldn't take any joking around. Like, we wouldn't be out here representing, backing him up if he wasn't serious about it. So when people see him fight, it's not going to just be a YouTuber. I tell him all the time right now, you're a pro boxer. You had a camp. You went through the training, you had a sparring, you took in beatings, you gave beatings. I'm like, you're a fighter. So that's what I try to say with some of these people. It's like, just because he's a YouTuber doesn't mean he's a man. Just because you're a YouTuber doesn't mean you can't fight. People got to watch out for stuff like that.
You know what? It's good, and like I said, that's why I wanted to be educated on it, because I follow the traditional boxing. How do you then see, as a professional fighter and as somebody that's involved in the YouTube scene, how do you see boxing moving forward in the future? Because at the moment, there's still we're a bit dubious, we're not too sure about it. But how do you see that progressing and changing in the future?
I see it exploding. I mean, boxing is never going to go anywhere. I mean, it's been inbound from the old days, you know, it's never going anywhere. And I think it's actually going to explode a lot more with this YouTube thing. I think people are going to see these guys fight. They're going to gain interest. They're going to want to see more technical fights, more exciting fights, and that's going to bring them towards boxing. You know, they know who these people are, so there's a connection there with them. You know, they make them laugh. It's comedy. So they watch to see these two guys fight, but they're going to gain an interest in it, you know. They're going to want to see more action-packed fights that are going to go the distance with constantly throwing. And that's going to bring it towards boxing, you know.
And finally, your opinion on the heavyweight, and obviously from your side of the ocean as well. Give us your thoughts. You've moved up a few weights. Like you said, you've mentioned cruiser and then onto heavyweight. Give us your opinion on the heavyweight division globally, USA, UK, world at this time.
Globally, I think it's growing, you know, and I think a lot with the heavyweight scene, which I like, is you got a lot of guys before I used to think would try and cut the weight to fight at cruiserweight, and we're seeing a lot of more of a hybrid boxers now for heavyweights. You know, guys around like they did a bridgerweight class for the WBC. I'm not really for it, but you know, I like it. It is what it is, and I think a lot more. We're going to see a lot more explosive fighters, a lot more agile heavyweights. I think the times are changing. I mean, even Tyson Fury. I mean, he's a big heavyweight, but they pride him on moving like a middleweight. So I think a lot of these heavyweights that are, you know, not, you know, 18 stones and stuff like that. You know, they're coming in at about like 16 stone or so. They're more agile. They have the power. I mean, any man over 200 pounds can hurt you. So, you know, I think heavyweight boxing is going to blow up real soon. It's gaining a lot of attention right now. So.
And from the US, I know you've mentioned Tyson Fury. From the US, which UK boxer, or European boxer for that matter, stands out in the US the most?
What European boxer stands out in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, you know, I want to also give a shout out to Deontay Wilder because, I mean, to me, that's a huge thing. He was an American heavyweight. I mean, 15 consecutive title defenses. Like, you know, and people want to say sometimes about his technique. It's fighting. You're not fighting world-class fighters and you're telling me you have no technique and you have no skill. It's a certain style. You know, he's a brawler. He's a brute. He comes in and stays behind that long arm and he lays a right hand. You got to... Not every style is the same way, you know, but it's still boxing. You're still fighting. I mean, he lost to Tyson Fury, but he did drop him. Yeah, and you're trying to tell me that this man has no skill? Yeah. He's a world-class champion. You got to take your hat off to him.
I agree with that, and it's good to see that he's actually coming back out there. I know that you've got to go in. I appreciate you taking the time to speak to me. October Red Boxing. Until the next time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.
You are so odd.